So this whole month, we are in fundamentals month, and in my classes, we've been working on, from both bottom and top, basic ways how to expose the back via guard passing and via sweeps. And today we're going to work at a very, very common position that happens in jiu-jitsu quite often, which is the front headlock. But first, guys, let's really quickly talk about the differences with the front headlock with jiu-jitsu and wrestling. So in wrestling, front headlocks are different than BJJ. So front headlocks in wrestling look like this. I'm grabbing a chin strap, I'm separating his arm from his body, I'm driving into him, and my goal is to find ways to pull him and go behind him and score. All right, so I'm looking to do that. I'm also looking for different ways and mechanisms on how to put him flat onto his back, because now I can pin him and I can score via pin, right? So this is the goal of wrestling, all right? Also, I can a lot of times roll him and score points like this as well, but I'm not looking for any submissions, right? Whereas in BJJ, from the front headlock, we have a lot of submission opportunities as well. And my front headlock could be like almost like a lasso. I can switch my hands from the neck to the armpit or underneath his chin. So when Jackson is in front of me here, for example, if my hands are underneath his chin, okay, a lot of times I can pull his elbow in, switch, and a lot of times I can go for head and arm guillotines. Like, there's a lot of different variations that I can do. But also, a lot of times I can use this like lasso to circle, switch my hands towards his ears, for example. Now break him down, and as soon as I break him down, now I can switch to darces, or I can roll for anacondas, etc., etc. So there's a lot of opportunities for me to finish him if my hands are locked. Okay, but again, in wrestling, most wrestlers are taught not to lock their hands because of what we're going to do today, which is called the sucker drag. So anytime you get caught in a front headlock, guys, the first thing you need to do is recognize which arm is around your neck, and that's the arm that we're going to target. So if Jackson has this arm around my neck here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look to attack this arm. But you see my head here? If my head is in this armpit, number one, I'm going to be more susceptible to chokes. Number two, my own head is in my way. So what I need to do is I need to bring my ear to my shoulder like this. I created a gap of space right over here. The opposite hand, in this case my right hand, is going to be his right arm around my neck, is going to grab his tricep, and I'm going to use my hand to circle behind Jackson, and I'm going to use that to clear. As soon as I clear, a few things can happen here. Number one, if there's that big gap, I can already throw hooks. Number two, I can bring my hand behind his back, I can circle behind him, and I can put him down, and I can win side control, right? So a lot of times my training partner is going to recognize that. As soon as we hit them with our circle drag, they're going to look to put this arm back onto the floor. As that happens, I'm going to go to the wrist, my knee is going to go in the same line as his wrist, and I'm going to look to switch my base. I created a little bit of a gap between both of us, right? In that gap, I'm going to pull him and I'm going to break him down to a hip. Guys, notice I'm not sitting, I'm on my shin, all right? This is very important, Big Will, because later I need to chase him. Few things can happen here. Sometimes you pull them so strong, especially if you're like Big Raj, where I can already start to lock my hands. I can sit, throw my hook, and I can take him to the underhook side and finish on the back take. But a lot of times there's going to be an reaction that's go on your front. That's going to happen. As soon as you break them down, just listen to me, Jackson. As soon as you break them down, he is going to look to escape. Let's do it slow motion so we can all understand what's happening. For Jackson to go to turtle, look at this shoulder and look at this hand. Go back to turtle, Jackson. You see it's moving away from you, so come back. So what I'm going to do is, as you go, Jackson, I'm going to grab his wrist. This is going to significantly slow him down. Go to turtle, Jackson. As you can see, it makes it really difficult for him to complete his turtle. That gives me enough time, go, to chop my hook. And as I chop my hook, I'm going to take a shoulder roll, I'm going to let go of his wrist, lock up my seatbelt, and put both of my hooks to score my 4 points for the back. All right, so sometimes you're gonna have this and you're gonna be tempted, oh, I'm gonna have to trap his arm right away, but sometimes I'm gonna score off this. There's a little space, there's a little misalignment. They can start to escape in various ways. So for that reason, look to get your seatbelt, get your hooks, let's score, and we're gonna call it a day, and then look to attack later. All right, so again, one more time. So maybe I shot a double on Jackson, he hit me with the front headlock, ear to shoulder right away, and I'm grabbing the meat of his tricep. This hand is going to go for his hips, and look at how I'm going to circle towards his back, just like this. As Jackson takes this arm back, I'm going to go to his wrist, create a little bit gap. There has to be a gap here. Pull him into that space. Just like that, all right? From here, as Jackson runs away from me, I win that grip, I throw my hook, I take a shoulder roll, I get my seatbelt, and I get my second hook to finish my back take, just like that, all right? Guys, for the more experienced students, think to yourself, like in the next few seconds, how you're gonna get to this position. For example, maybe Jackson and I are wrestling. Maybe I get my grips on Jackson, I square Jackson up, and I take a shot. He sprawls, and he goes to the front headlock. Jackson's to the other side now, so I'm gonna go towards the other side. I did my circle drag here now. I'm gonna pull him down. He starts to go. I roll through, I get my hooks, I finished. A lot of us here like half guard. So maybe I'm in half guard. Give me space, take this knee away. Yep. I'm gonna kick, create a gap for myself, look to wrestle up. I switch my legs. I'm coming up into like a dogfight. Jackson clears that leg, and then he goes for a front headlock. Same story. Now I'm gonna hit my sucker drag. Same exact thing. There's so many different ways that you're gonna see yourself in a front headlock. If you have something in your back pocket, do a whole sequence, that's yours, and then the sucker drag is gonna come as a response to the person going for a front headlock, all right? So again, one more time, if you're standing with Jackson, if I'm here, do a front headlock on me. Okay, I'm going ear to shoulder, grabbing here, and going to his hips, and I'm sliding out the back. Guys, for the front headlock, don't overthink it. Just a basic seatbelt grip, very, very standard, because from here, you can switch into a lot of different configurations. Cool? Let's go. Keanu, the tricep okay to the start. All right, Keanu, he's here. Guys, really quickly, so we're gonna hit it again. A couple of people had questions. I'm gonna answer it while we're here. Guys, once more, Keanu's bent over. Guys, when I have a front headlock, no, you can just be up. If I have a front headlock on Keanu, I'm not making Jackson these kinds of grips. You see what I'm saying? Like what can I really do with this? It's a little bit awkward. I'm going here, okay? Because first of all, I can always go to the chin strap. From here, I can always switch my hands to different configurations. From here, I could always look to switch my hands. So just use the standard option grip, right? When we're here, look at Keanu's head. You see his head is like in my armpit. So if Keanu brings his left ear in this instant, or right ear, this is your left or right, sorry? Right ear to his chin, the other way, 1 second. Yes, he created a space. This hand now is gonna go to my tricep, and now he's gonna circle behind me, and look, he just disappears over to the side. All right, so that's what we're doing on the floor. DG, what was your question?
My question is, when the person goes to turtle,
yeah,
swinging my leg over is a little hard if the person's hips are too high.
Okay, well, I got you. And later we'll do that, right? Okay, so maybe I took a shot on Keanu, and he sprawls on me, and he gets a sort of front headlock. So immediately, I'm going locking against Keanu. This can only work, guys, or not only, it's mainly gonna work when they lock their hands. If they have a chin strap on me, it's gonna be significantly harder, right? So I'm already gonna post, ear goes to my shoulder, I'm grabbing the meat, and now I'm circling here. Guys, a couple of things for competitors, especially, and for most of us, really. If all these gaps exist, look DG, I'm just already gonna be throwing hooks from the top, and I'm already gonna be looking to score even earlier, right? So a lot of times, my training partner is gonna ball up a little bit. As they ball up, there's less gaps, right? So then it's gonna be much easier for me to break them down, okay? DG, when I break the person down, look how I'm on my shin. Probably you're sitting down, so now your hip becomes lower than his. But if I'm here, Keanu's like a little bit my height, but I'm taller than him in this instance. And as he turtles away from me, I take that wrist, and now look, I chop my leg, and then we go for a roll, and then now I secure the back tail. Guys, once we're here, it's gonna be a review for most of us, and for some of us it's gonna be new, but we're gonna do the hand fighting sequence to finish on the back. Vinyak, Corey, come on, bring it in, guys. Front row seats, because you can't see anything from back there. Juan, you know, he's already had a long day here, trust me. All right, now it's gonna make his job even harder. Once we're on the back, Brian, if I have an option, I wanna be on the underhook side. On this side, I have way more options than on the opposite side. Here, I have my trusty rear naked choke. Here, I always have options to go for my armbar, and here, I can trap that arm, and later I can start to go for back triangles. Whereas on the other side, I don't have all of those options. If I'm on this side, I have my RNC, but that's pretty much it. All right, and here, if he starts to escape, all right, now I do have an arm triangle, but a lot of times it's gonna be difficult on somebody that knows that it's gonna be coming. So if there's a choice, like Brian earlier ended up behind the training partner here, if I have a choice, unless they're leaning to the side, to one side, where now I'm gonna go to where they're leaning, but if we're lined up, I'm gonna take them to the underhook side, all right? And then that's where we ended up, right? So again, if you have a choice, end up here, but sometimes you don't, and we would do what we did last week. Now that we're here, guys, I'm gonna take a one-on-one grip on Keanu's hand, and I'm gonna start to go for the neck. Keanu intercepts by grabbing my thumb. Okay, now this is the perfect interception. What happens if he grabs my wrist? If he grabs my wrist, look, I can still sometimes get a bite underneath his neck. So for him, he has to do a good job of grabbing my thumb. Now that he grabbed my thumb, I'm gonna lower this, and as I lower it, look, I'm gonna switch. I'm gonna grab that wrist, strip it. Now his other hand is gonna come in, and I'm gonna make my cross grip here. People call this a straight jacket because it's like I put a straight jacket on Keanu. One thing I forgot to talk about, guys, is my legs. Either I'm gonna have a body triangle on him, or I'm gonna have a foot on the hip to make it difficult for Keanu to rotate his hips and to start to kill the bottom, right? Once we're here, I'm gonna look to trap his arm. As soon as I trap his arm, I'm gonna cross my feet. I'm gonna circle, go back to my one-on-one, stab Keanu in the chest. As we talked about last week, guys, make sure you're grabbing the meat of the hand and not the wrist, okay? Once we're here, Keanu's chin is gonna be tucked. Use your thumb knuckle or your 4 fingers to carve right behind his ear. Get all the way underneath his neck and grab behind the shoulder blade. If you're Big Will, Big Raj, if you have a big in front of your name, you can for sure finish one-handed. But everybody else, we're gonna heist up onto this forearm. Look what I'm doing to Keanu's hand. I'm holding it until the very, very, very end. Now, when I let it go, now I'm gonna shoot it behind the back of his head, get my finish. Guys, for the more experienced students, as you're here in this little gray area, their other hand is gonna sometimes come and be a nuisance to you. So punch it down quickly, and then now do your strike and finish with the choke. Sometimes you have to do it twice, all right? So again, once we land on the back, okay, we're gonna be here. I'm gonna look to take a one-on-one, go for his neck, he grabs my thumb. I lower it, I strip it, and I grab the second hand. Now we have our straight jacket. Look to strap that arm. As soon as you trap it, go back to the one-on-one. They're tucking their chin, carve, 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 get underneath their neck, grab behind their shoulder blade, heist up, take this out, punch, punch, all right? We did this all of last week, so a lot of us should know this. For everyone else, this could be a nice review for today. So if you have a little bit of experience, guys, do a whole sequence. So I'm here with Keanu, boom, we're wrestling, I faked him out, I take a shot, he's sprawled on me, I go for my circuit drag right away, I switch, I break him down, I win the wrist grip, I roll all the way through, and I get to the back. Shabab and everyone else, make sure you get your points. Dot, 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 I got my points, great. Now I lock up a body triangle, now time to work. All right, should look something like that. Do a whole sequence. If the other person has trained with you before, they give you a little resistance, amazing. If not, slow it down and always go at an appropriate speed for your training partner. Cool, let's go.